Yeah, what up, Fight World, man? It's the Kid Ego. We working. What is up with everybody? Waiting for everybody to join. You guys know the routine. Like button. Leave some comments. What up? Darnell, what's up? Damn, I already had to block somebody. That was quick. That was good. I'm just doing a quick stream. I'm starving, about to get something to eat. I'm just chilling. What up from London? London, what's good? This is a good fight, man. Bob Arum did an interview, and he was basically saying that he can't recall a time in history where two Olympic gold medalists fought each other, like, you know what I mean, on a main event or just in general. Y'all want to, hold on. So this is Rigondeaux's page. I told you, ego rumor mill, believe in that, like Death Row East. You guys can't really hear it because it's like they're recording a phone. This is on Rigondeaux's page, but they're recording a phone. And when he put Rigondeaux, it says repost from Boxingego Cubano, hashtag Bob Arum confirmed Rigo Loma 2017, and it's a Cuban flag, hashtag not afraid. So ego rumor mill looks like it's delivering something special. Rigondeaux said, not worried about a darn thing. I have by my side the best trainer in the world. Team Rigo will be ready. December. Pedro Diaz. El Chacao. Guillermo. Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux's pretty diesel for it, like for a small, you know what I mean, for a short dude. Pause. Okay. Look at the boy Rigo. Okay. Okay. What you working with, Rigo? Okay. Okay. Whoops. Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux got smoked, man. Okay. Look at that hand speed, y'all. I guess that's supposed to be Lomachenko. What the fuck? This is funny looking. What are we waiting for? I have no idea, but Uncle Bob to grow some confidence in me. Wow. He making cartoons. Listen, great fight. 2017 is lit. We lit. We working. It's a great fight, man. I'm looking forward to it. Now, this is the type of fight, like, ESPN full of shit. ESPN says something like, after he beat Mariaga, now this is the type of performance that solidifies Lomachenko's #1 pound-for-pound spot. No it doesn't. Beating a guy with 2 losses, with 2 knockdowns. Y'all motherfuckers don't want to give Floyd credit for fighting an MMA fighter who was way bigger than him on fight night. Way bigger than Floyd. Supposed to be real strong. He was on some Bruce Lee shit. You know what I mean? And awkward southpaw youth on his side. Lomachenko's not getting no crazy amounts of praise for beating a guy moving up in weight off of a recent loss. Miguel Mariaga just lost in April, and he fought Lomachenko in August. He had no fights in between, and he was moving up in weight, and he got knocked down by Oscar Valdez, a guy that Vasyl Lomachenko beat in the amateurs. Now, shout out to Oscar Valdez, right? Nogales. He follows me on Instagram. I follow him. He's a good fighter. But again, Mariaga lost to Nicholas Walters, and you beat him as a pro. So what does the Mariaga fight really prove? You beat Oscar Valdez in the amateurs, and he beat him too. So what does that really prove, coming off of a loss and moving up in weight? And he was knocked down in both of his losses, Walters and Valdez. So, you know what I'm saying? ESPN, they be on that bullshit. That's why we getting back to Death Row East, like I told you. All that other bullshit y'all been listening to, we got a new wave. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Lomachenko beats Rigondeaux, that's a certified cap. Rigondeaux's a great fighter. Vice versa. If Rigondeaux beats Lomachenko, that's a hell of a win for either guy. Shout out to Xavier King, $2 super chat. Do the shmoney dance. We doing the shmoney dance. I'm not gonna make this stream too long because I'm gonna get something to eat. But great fight, great fight. You know what I mean? But I'm waiting for the, you know what I mean? I'm old school, so I'm waiting for the particulars, like the Instagram posts and stuff. I just want to go to Top Rank's Twitter and see it. You know what I'm saying? Or get an email talking about the press conference is going to be here. That's what I want to see. But it looks like ego rumor mill might be coming true yet again. And if it does, I'll be happy. I'm a happy camper because it's a good fight. You know what I mean? Fight Rigondeaux, if you beat him, fight like Mikey Garcia. These are fights that can test Vasyl Lomachenko. These are fights that can. I'm not gonna you stop me from bringing up Miguel Mariaga. How about that? And that won't happen. So moving on. Somebody said stop bringing up Mariaga. Why would I stop bringing up Lomachenko's last fight? See, that's what they want you to do. The cowards in boxing, a lot of the people who are racist and all this shit, that's what they want you to do. They just want you to stop talking about it. Oh, don't bring up Mariaga. Why can I not bring up his last fight? I'd understand if it was like 12 years ago, like Floyd versus Castillo, which y'all still bring up to this day. That was like 15 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean? Some of y'all wasn't even conceived when Mayweather fought Castillo, but yet you bring him up in the comment section. You know what I mean? Stop bringing up Mariaga. So I got to stop bringing up Lomachenko's most recent work that ESPN said that he was solidifying his #1 pound-for-pound status with that fight, but I gotta stop bringing it up. You see how dumb? Everybody type stupid. That sounds stupid. Why can I not talk about his most recent endeavor? Y'all can't fuck with the truth, man. And I'm the truth, like Errol Spence. I'm the truth. Stupid. Talking about don't bring up. Stop bringing up Mariaga. What do you want me to bring up? His first pro fight? You know what I'm saying? I'm a current event type of motherfucker. Like, we can always celebrate the past and talk about past stuff, but I want to talk about the most recent too. You know what I mean? Why would I exclude? That's like, oh, stop bringing up Hurricane Harvey. Talk about Katrina. Why would I talk about Katrina when Houston's going through it right now? And salute to Texas. I send my condolences and prayers to anybody affected and displaced. But why would I not talk about Hurricane Harvey, which is currently going on right now, to talk about El Nino or Hurricane Katrina? That doesn't make sense, but that's what y'all want. Y'all want that stupid shit. But this is not the channel for you. I'm telling you, it's a new wave. I'm talking about stop talking about Mariaga. Top Rank made the fight. Lomachenko's team took the fight. Why I gotta stop talking about it? Anyway, we gotta get them likes up. Get the likes up for the truth, man. See, this is what happens when y'all get me and I'm kind of hungry. I don't have time for foolishness. Truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we can talk about Rigondeaux's most recent fight, Chucky Moises Flores. I mean, I think it was just like Tank's fight. He got hurt. Probably seen the level of skill even in that first round, and he knew he wasn't fucking with Rigondeaux. He tried to get him disqualified. Now, not to say there weren't punches thrown after the bell, but they were both participating in those punches. You know what I mean? So No, it is what it is. To me, is they both were doing it. They both were at fault. Both were, and like, if you know anything about Mortal Kombat or fights, you know what I mean. This is protect yourself at all times. So even if, I understand you have to adhere to the rules, but if a motherfucker's swinging on you and the bell's trying to save you, you're not gonna try to block or fight back. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna let him punch. Oh, it's after the bell. Hit me. And you know what I mean? And getting rocked. That doesn't even make sense. So. It's a good fight though. Lomachenko, congrats or like salute, I guess is a better word. Got my orange shoes. Salute to Rigondeaux moving up 2 weight division. Listen to me. You can't avoid the truth. Rigondeaux's willing to go up to, so okay, if Rigondeaux is an Olympic gold medalist, not once but twice, then he knows what it takes to get there because he actually accomplished that. That's something he's done. Lomachenko has done it also. So he knows that Lomachenko is a good fighter because he knows probably what he had to endure to win 1 gold medal, let alone 2. So I think Rigondeaux knows he's giving up weight and he's still willing to move 2 divisions up. So even if, let's say Lomachenko stops him, you know what? Salute to Rigondeaux because he's at least willing to challenge himself for the greater good of boxing and to really prove, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not getting any younger and I'm ready to scrap with whatever, so fuck it. I'm not ducking or dodging, hashtag not afraid. So, I mean, realistically, people, like, let's say Rigondeaux got stopped, hypothetically. People are going to make a bunch of, like, comments, memes, haha, I see, you told you. But I give, to me, I'm old school. Like I said, I give you respect just for doing this shit. Just giving me something that I wanted to see. And risking it and challenging it. I mean, even Conor McGregor, I mean, he lost, he got stopped, he talked a lot of shit, and it didn't work out, but I still give him props for stepping out of his comfort zone to fight Floyd Mayweather in his arena, knowing that this is TBE, or at the very least, this generation's, or one of this generation's very best boxers, like smaller or not, you know what I mean, and going into the fight confident. So I give guys credit for that. But listen, this is all this stuff ESPN and HBO and even Top Rank try to sell you on. I don't believe it. You can't tell me that guys like Triple G or the Boogeyman and Lomachenko are the Boogeyman, yet you got guys who are willing to move up not 1 but 2 divisions to face them. That doesn't happen if you're a Boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Why would you have, especially when you're not like a Canelo level superstar. You know what I'm saying? If you're a Canelo level superstar, then there's multiple reasons. Someone wants to fight you. They think they could beat you. They think they'll get a high paycheck. But no, Rigondeaux got almost $1 million to fight Nonito Donaire. So whoever just put that, he said for the money. No, he can make cool money fighting whoever he wants to fight. You know what I mean? Rock Nation's been giving him good paychecks. Look at the purses. Lomachenko is not this big star, this A-list star like you guys are making him out to be, in terms of you fight Lomachenko and it's going to be absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, you know what I mean, like a $5 million paycheck. It's probably not going to be that. Point blank period. You guys are over. Lomachenko's skilled, but y'all making him like he's this huge star. I think Golovkin has more star power than him. When's Lomachenko? Okay, if Lomachenko was such a big star right now, then tell me the last time he was on pay-per-view as the main event. I'm going to wait. Hold on, we just going to listen to some music, so I'm going to wait for y'all to tell me when Lomachenko was the main event on pay-per-view. Oh, y'all ain't answering? I'm going to keep waiting, just listen to some music. I don't see no answers. See, I mean, even Triple G, he was selling out venues on the East Coast, West Coast, even in the UK. So they tried his hand at pay-per-view, even though the numbers weren't even that great versus Jacobs or David Lemieux, but they at least tried to put him on there. Why hasn't Top Rank put him on a... They put Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford even have a main event pay-per-view versus Victor Postal. Why have they not tried that with Vasyl Lomachenko? If he's this big A-list star where you fight him and you gonna make buku bucks, you tell me. Why has he not been on a main event? And even Terrence Crawford has versus Postal. Why didn't they put Vasyl Lomachenko, Jason Sosa on pay-per-view, or Mariaga, since it was such a great fight? Because he doesn't have the A-list star power that y'all trying to make him seem to have. He's a very talented fighter. He's a very skilled fighter, and that's what people do. They separate skill and talent and potential with star power. Terrence Crawford has all the skill in the fucking world, but Broner is a bigger name than Terrence Crawford, despite Crawford being the more accomplished and still undefeated fighter. Broner has 3 losses. That's not, no one said life was fair. That's just the way of the world. Lomachenko is a very good fighter, but that doesn't mean he's an A-list, like, global star like y'all trying to make him. Do the shmoney dance. We got another £5 donation, so you must be in the UK. Shout out to y'all. Son Goku says, please give a supreme shout out to my boy Master Roshi. He held it down for the universe. Wow. I think 130 is too much in Loma's favor, but we'll see. Rigondeaux equals skill. Yeah, like I said, we will see. I'm not shitting on either fighter because this is a great fight. They're both southpaws and shit like that. So, you know what I mean? Let's see it. I'm looking forward to this. If you put stupid shit, you're getting blocked. Like, I really don't have the time. I'm trying to talk some boxing before I get out of here because that's what we do. But yeah, Lomachenko, y'all acting like if you fight Lomachenko, you're getting even a $3 million payday. That's not true. You know what I mean? So, once again, guys like Golovkin, guys like Lomachenko, to me, they're not the most feared. You know what I mean? Some people probably avoided. I think Miguel Cotto avoided Triple G, stuff like that. But you can't be the most feared if you have people like Kell Brook willing to move 2 weight divisions up to fight him. Whether he loses, gets his ass beat or nothing, or whatever, he still was willing to do it and sign on the dotted line. You know what I'm saying? And Rigondeaux's doing the same thing with Lomachenko. Okay, now, the reason I say Rigondeaux was avoided, because you had motherfuckers who left the division to not fight Rigondeaux. Nonito got worked and nearly stopped in the 12th round. Then he left and went to featherweight and fought Siempre Vicheca or whatever his name is, and got stopped by Nicholas Walters. And then he came back down in weight after he said he could no longer make weight. And I think he fought Cesar Juarez and got a title or some shit. But Nonito left the division instead of rematching him. You know what I'm saying? Leo Santa Cruz moved up. Abnemada's moved up. Carl Frampton beat Scott Quigg, broke his jaw, become a mandatory, or became the champion. Rigondeaux was the mandatory. And then Carl Frampton's like, oh, I can no longer make weight. I'm moving up. Scott Quigg moved up. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wanted a rump. And you damn sure don't have nobody 2 divisions underneath 122 like a Chocolatito who they just said 5 months ago was pound for pound #1. Why doesn't he move up 2 weight classes to fight Rigondeaux at 122? Because Rigondeaux is the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that with certain guys. You don't see guys 2 divisions underneath Andre Ward saying, guess what? I'll move up to 75. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Triple G is considered the best middleweight and has been for some years. He didn't even want to move up to 68. He didn't want to move up 1 division to fight Andre Ward. And he was like, hey, no, guys, Andre Ward too much for me right now. No, I know my situation. He was saying all that. No. You know what I'm saying? Look at Errol Spence. These are the people who are actual boogeyman. Nobody in Errol Spence's division even wants to fight him in his own division, in welterweight. Who's mentioning Errol Spence? Like, man, I'm going to fuck that boy up. I haven't heard Sean Porter really mention him. I haven't heard Broner, Danny Garcia. The only person is Jeff Horn, and we don't even know if that's logistically accurate. So it's easy to call somebody out if you know your promoter ain't finna make the fight. Keith Thurman, he barely said anything. He's getting married, Jagged Edge style. I just want to get married, yo, I just meet me at the yard. Where's Keith Thurman even been? He's injured, so I mean, how you gonna call someone out and then go get married? I just want to get married, yo, I just. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, today is not the day, man. I don't have time for this. Like, you gonna, like, I don't believe in that call out if you know you're getting a surgery and you're about to get married. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like me being in a bar and I'm like, man, I'm about to fuck you up. Meet me outside. And then the guy's coming outside like, okay, let's go. Like, what's up? Like, put him up. And I'm like, nah, I'm about to go to the altar real quick. I just want to get married. Yo, I just. Like, and I know I have to have a surgery. It doesn't even make sense. So basically, no one wants to fight Errol Spence in his own division, and that's his own division. Like I said, the whole basis of what I'm saying is name somebody 2 divisions underneath Errol the Truth Spence Jr. that says, you know what, I want to come up to 147 from 2 divisions below you to scrap with you. Name somebody. There is nobody. You guys call Deontay Wilder bum squad and bum killer, and Deontay is gonna get Wilder and all this corny shit. Name somebody who's 2 divisions underneath him that says, I want that work. You know what I mean? I didn't see Kovalev say, you know, I'm gonna go up and fight Wilder. Let Kovalev, we'll see who gets crushed. We'll see who's bum squad. If Roy Jones moved up to heavyweight, let's see Kovalev move up to heavyweight and fight him. You know that's not gonna happen. I mean, it's not even realistic. I don't think he should fight him, but that's my whole point. But case in point, Rigondeaux, knowing he's going up against an Olympic gold medalist who is the network's A side, he's not the A side. You've seen what HBO and ESPN, how they treat him. According to Rigondeaux, they had him at Teddy Atlas had him top 5, and they made him change it. That's why it said Errol Spence with a fucking Cuban flag on it, according to him. Now we got some super chats coming in. Son Goku did another 5 pound. Do the shmoney dance. We working. It says, if you want to be a pay-per-view star, call out everybody on every platform and chat shit in a violent manner. Too many stay in the gym and make Twitter appearances. Another shmoney dance for Big Time. Shout out. Thank you. It's a $5 super chat. It says, Teddy Atlas has disgusted me with his sudden change. ESPN and HBO are the reason why people start to hate guys Lomachenko and Triple G. See, I don't hate the fighters, but some people's fan bases, the radical ones, I really don't like, and that's what it is. Lomachenko's a great fighter. Triple G's a good fighter, but they're extremist fan base that can't talk boxing. That's what's cumbersome. You know what I'm saying? That's the irritating part, because if you have Lomachenko as pound for pound #1, I just want to hear why. What has he done? Because you can't really grant somebody a current position based on a prophecy. I think he could be pound for pound, or I think he would beat Mikey Garcia, or I think he would do. You got to show me. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, I keep asking the question, and the people who say, "Oh, you're hating Lomachenko, he should be pound for pound #1," you're not really breaking it down, explaining why he's pound for pound #1 over Andre Ward, who's been in the spotlight way longer than him, Super 6 and all that, in 2009, 2011, all that. Terrence Crawford just become undisputed. So explain it to me. That's it. It's very simple. I'm not mad. I just want you to explain it to it and tell. Don't say, oh, you're fucking ugly, fool, and you're a bitch, all that. That's cool. I'm an ugly bitch. Now explain it to me. Explain how Lomachenko right now is #1 without beating Rigondeaux, without beating Mikey Garcia, not really even being in the stacked division, beating Nicholas Walters off of a layoff, and you explain that to me. Loma is not in the top 5. Exactly. Not yet, at least. You know what I'm saying? And it's that simple. But all these networks and personalities and promoters and stuff, they want to force feed you, and that's not the game I came up in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe it is, like back in the day with like Don King and stuff, but it's different now. This is a social media age. We run this shit. The fans run this shit. You got people like me. I came up through the ranks of YouTube that I'm more known than people who've been writing in boxing for 10, 15 years and covered like Cotto's fights when he had hair and shit. It's a new breed. It's a new game. It's a new... I told you we're going to establish a new form of government. Death Row East. It's different. You know what I'm saying? You can't just... That's that pre-Mayweather Pacquiao shit. I remember right around that time you could just say whatever in boxing, and then the fans at each other's throat. But we're having a great year. We're having a very good year in boxing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people don't care to hear about the bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Even the Mayweather Pacquiao situation, that's something we endured as fans, but we don't want to go through that again. These super fights or just good fights in general, just make the shit happen. Broner Garcia, Danny Garcia versus Thurman, people wanted that and they just kind of got made. You know what I mean? Joshua Klitschko kind of got made. You know what I mean? So on to the next. Let's see Joshua versus Wilder, or Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. You know what I mean? People aren't waiting no more. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? Rigondeaux, Lomachenko. Let's see it now. Because bottom line is Mayweather and Pacquiao are anomalies. I talked to Sugar Ray Leonard a few years back. I got the interview and all that. He said it too. They're anomalies. They're like once in a blue moon generational fighters, not only for their fighting skill, but they came up in a time where pay-per-view was popping. There were less Codys and streams and shit like that. So they became global and world renowned athletes, you know what I'm saying? And did crazy things, move up 5 divisions, 8 divisions. We don't really have that right now. You know what I mean? Canelo's probably the closest, and the motherfucker got a loss. Pacquiao had a loss when he was coming up, and we really started getting his career popping, but that was early in his career, just like Canelo, but he was like moving through the ranks, and like I said, pay-per-view, the whole landscape was different. So again, Lomachenko's good, but I told you I'm an Aries, so I'm headstrong. You got to explain to me how you can put him. And I'm talking to fighters too. Caleb Plant, great fighter. Sean Porter, great fighter. They're saying the exact same thing. That's why I told you in January it was going to be a very bad year for y'all, because saying all that bullshit and like unwarranted, no way to prove it, nobody in the industry is agreeing with you. That's what, look at the, like literally look at the channels. Like I don't even be watching boxing channels like that, but people send me stuff, people let me know what's going on. Channels are disappearing. People are like, at one point they were active, now they're no longer active. People who are writing these crazy articles and just chatting shit, people are like slamming them in the comment section. I'm telling you, boxing fans ain't with the bullshit. And this year particularly, we killing the UFC. We killing them. They, you know what I mean? Their biggest star, Ronda Rousey, she got her head beat in. I kind of count that this year because it was in December. It was like on New Year's Eve or some shit. She got her brains bashed in. So, you know what I mean? Technically, that's kind of 2017-ish. Conor McGregor, he tried, did his thing for 3 rounds, and then it was the Mayweather show, and I think Mayweather carried him. The UFC hasn't had really popping events to me. And then their best events, like I think the Anaheim fight was cool with DC and John Jones, but then the motherfucker fails a drug test. You know what I mean? I thought DC versus Rumble Johnson was underwhelming. Like I said, John Jones failing drug test. Conor, he ain't fought in the UFC since last year, maybe in December too. Boxing's on a tear right now. We killing this shit. So we got to just keep that good old-fashioned boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? We ain't never going to let nobody come in and take. And to me, the way I think about it is like, we can disagree as fans, but you got to just talk with some damn sense. Nobody trying to hear that dumb stuff. What do I think about Tank? That's my dude. Shout out to Gervonta Davis. He had a bad night. He admits he had a bad night. He said some shit went on in camp. I mean, I think he can get a title again. Lomachenko's easily the toughest fight for him at 130. But, I mean, I would favor him to beat Miguel Berchelt. I mean, I would favor him to beat Orlando Salido unless he had like a slow performance like he did last time where he was fighting like in spurts. And then, you know what I mean, Salido might be able to challenge him. But, I mean, he's a kid. He's 22. He's young. He's growing. He says he promised that he's gonna be professional. That was an orange juice, and I'm done sipping it. He said he's gonna get back to the grind, and you know what I mean, make sure it doesn't happen again. So that's what I think about Tank. I think he's a very entertaining style to watch, very explosive. You know, actually, he reminded me of in his last fight with Fonseca. He reminded me of young Canelo. Young Canelo had stamina issues too. You know what I mean? Canelo was fighting in spurts. Watch the Shane Mosley fight Alfonso Gomez. But when he would fight, then he was like mad explosive, like bah, 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 and he just started ripping combos and stuff. That's how Tank was fighting. When he was exploding with combinations, it was like beautiful. But he was not fighting full 3-minute rounds. Pacquiao kind of did that too versus Bradley, where in the first fight, he wasn't fighting 3-minute rounds, but he was flurrying and stuff at the end. Tank's 22. I mean, I'm not really worried about it. I think he can bounce back. I still haven't watched Kodo Kamagai, so I don't know. I heard it was a war, but I mean, truth be told, I wasn't really checking for that fight, to be honest. That's why I haven't made the time. I came unpacked, and Mayweather McGregor was an event, so I went to that. But he fucked up though, right? Ego. Who's he? I don't know who you're talking about. Who fucked up? But Tank at 135. I don't know. I'd have to see more. See, Broner, to me, Broner's missed weight a couple of times. Vicente Escobedo, he was contracted for a different weight versus John Molina, and then he came in over that weight, but since it wasn't a title fight, they just allowed it to slide. Ashley Theophane, he missed weight. So Tank would have to show me that for me to say he must move up to 35. I mean, I know he, at the Liam Walsh fight, he had to weigh in naked, but he still made weight and the fight happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'd have to see him. He's technically, because realistically, Brandon Rios weighed in naked and missed weights and shit and had to weigh in naked and then would make the weight after he pissed or threw up or whatever he had to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care about that. The Liam Walsh shit is really of no consequence because he made the weight, the fight resumed and went on, and he beat the shit out of Liam Walsh. So really the only fight he missed weight was on the Fonseca, which subsequently was a title defense, and he lost his title. So like I said, I look for patterns. So if he makes this a pattern, he's always missing weight and paying fines and stuff like Broner, then that's something different. And even Broner, is Adrian Granados was supposed to be at like 140, 142, 143, and then he said he got sick, and then they moved it to 147. So Tank hasn't showed me that. He hasn't showed me that that many issues with weight. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has the same thing. He's like missed weight several times and changing the weight at the last minute and paying for it. So Tank hasn't shown me that. So I wouldn't say he has to move up to 35, but shit, maybe it's his team, him and Calvin or whatever. If they feel like he needs to move up to 35 because he can't make the weight and he's growing too fast, then move up. That's my thoughts. Badu Jack looking like a dog. That's my dude too. Shout out to TMT, Badu Jack. See, Badu Jack's a person you sleep on. I slept on him. Pause. When he fought Anthony Durrell, I was like, nah, Durrell got this. He beat him. I thought George Groves would be a closer fight. He beat him, knocked him down. And then by the time James DeGale fight, I was like, man, I'm picking him over DeGale. Just because he's a worker, you know what I mean? He's disciplined. He's like a family man. I see him and his wife and daughter. You know what I mean? They look like they're chilling. Just, you know what I mean? Just enjoying the Vegas life, go on vacation, work hard, train. Sean Porter's trainer, strength and conditioning trainer, is now his strength and conditioning trainer, along with Caleb Plant. Shout out to my dude Larry Wade. So I just like it. I mean, I like to see people work. And Badu Jack's kind of like the Danny Garcia of the division. Doesn't look like what he's doing in there. Doesn't look like he's just Roy Jones or something, like freakish speed and, you know what I mean? I wasn't grabbing the rope. I was chicken fight. He's not doing all that, but he's getting shit done. You know what I'm saying? He's putting it together. He's a worker. He's a workman. It doesn't have to look flashy because, like, I mean, same thing goes for Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia doesn't look. Mikey Garcia is one of my favorite fighters. He's a great fighter, but he doesn't look flashy to me. Like, you know what I mean? Jorge Linares looks flashy to me. Canelo looks flashy to me. Broner, when he lets his hands go, flashy. Floyd, Pacquiao, those guys have some flash and pizzazz and dazzle. Mikey Garcia doesn't really do that, but what he does do is box, and he does things fundamentally, technically sound, and it don't matter. Broner's flashy, but the person who is more just bow, like Mike Garcia, beat him. You know what I mean? Same thing with Badu Jack. James DeGale, he be shoe shining and shit, and Badu Jack was shoe shining his ass. So the flashy shit don't matter, and you know what I'm saying? If somebody's just diligent. My hand hurts from holding this. Yeah, I heard about Berto to the MMA. I mean, shit, if that's what he wants to do. I mean, he has the speed. I don't know what his ground game is like, but the good thing with Berto is he might have dabbled in it a little bit because I think his dad or brother or both of them trained in MMA. So, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he knows some MMA already, to be honest. I don't know. I just know his dad. I forgot who it is. I think it's his dad or brother or both of them. They do mixed martial arts. So, I mean, it's not that far of a cry for Berto. You know what I mean? It's not like Conor going to... Actually, even Conor had some boxing schooling before he went to boxing. So, you know what I mean? Who you got, Rigondeaux or Loma? I really don't know. I literally don't know. I think the weight is the biggest factor. Like if it were to happen 126 or under, then I would say Lomachenko. I mean Rigondeaux for sure. But the weight is because sometimes I don't know. Sometimes a great little man will lose to a very good or solid or just even a good person who weighs more than him. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how they look because I know Lomachenko's going to look dumb at it. Lomachenko looked bigger than Mariaga, and Mariaga is already at 126. Rigondeaux's at 122. You know what I'm saying? And I think if Mariaga stood next to Rigondeaux, he would look very big. But skills pay the bills, so it's a toss-up. They both have skill. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I think Rigondeaux, believe it or not, him being smaller, I think he has more snap on his punches and even more precision. I don't think, I know he does, but I don't know 100% at 130 because I haven't seen him fight there. But as of right now, in his division at 122, he does. And the reason I say he's more accurate and is more snappy is because he fought that Jazza Dickens dude, Charles Dickens' Christmas Story or whatever his name is, Jazza Dickens, and he broke his jaw and he threw minimal punches. Rigondeaux throws minimal punches and still be fucking you up. So that lets you know something, because Lomachenko be in there throwing 100 punches around or more, you know what I'm saying? Just do and sidestepping and throwing a million punches, and he'll break you down eventually. Rigondeaux barely even threw punches because, you know what I mean, he has that Cuban style, and you know what I mean, he wants to fill you out in the early rounds, and he broke dude's jaw, Jazza Dickens, with barely. And that's why I hate boxing fans that don't know shit about boxing that always speak up so vocally. Because after he broke that dude's jaw, Jazza Dickens, people are like, look at CompuBox. He barely even threw any punches. Who gives a shit? So you mean to tell me if you could break a guy's jaw in 2 rounds, only throwing 20 punches or whatever it was, you would rather throw 300 punches per round for 8 rounds and then TKO a guy when you can break their jaw with only throwing 20 punches? That's dumb, because to me it's about efficiency. You know what I'm saying? It's just like if you go to like Vegas or something and you were to take a bus, they have different casinos. They're going to have a certain route that makes the most sense. They're not going to take you all the way over to the Link and then come all the way back to the Luxor when the Luxor was right next to T-Mobile or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it made more sense. They're not going to bounce around like that. They're going to go what makes the most sense. Okay, we're at the Luxor, we're going to go to T-Mobile, we'll go to MGM, it's right here. You know what I mean? Whatever the situation is. So realistically, boxing is about efficiency. Same thing with Floyd Mayweather. He always says it. I'm older, it's about fighting smarter, not harder. And you've seen that with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, far more active in the first 3 rounds, far more active. I believe Floyd carried him though. But guess what? Who cares? Because all that shit Conor did, he landed a swift uppercut. His jab was pretty nice. He was letting his hands go, you know what I mean, on his Bruce Lee shit or whatever he wants to call. And he still got stopped. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like Floyd gave up the first 3 rounds by just from lack of activity, but it's about efficiency. Conor did all that, landed uppercuts, and you know what I mean, got them shots off, and he still got stopped. So, you know what I mean, this is a good fight, Rigondeaux and Lomachenko. Clearly Floyd allowed that to happen. And I'm gonna explain it once again. Floyd, I mean, I would bet money that Floyd carried Conor the first 3 rounds. Because first of all, Floyd, a lot of people have this misconception that he's scary. Floyd has dog in him. Floyd, if you ever been, some of you guys never been to the Mayweather gym. I have. And when they're training, I haven't even went when Floyd was training, but when some of the other guys are training, it'd be hot as fuck in there. Especially with Floyd training, there's probably even more people in the gym and more spectators and shit. It's hot as fuck. That's why it's the doghouse. You know what I mean? They be doing no breaks and shit. So clearly, Floyd could have threw more punches than what he did. I don't think a guy who is not 100% boxer was so intimidating where he was fearful of throwing anything. When he was in there with big guys like Maidana, he was in there with guys like De La Hoya and Ricky Hatton, and he never threw that few punches. Marquez, these are all guys, solid boxers, solid punchers. Canelo, all these guys that can actually box and turn punches over like a boxer, right? And guess what? He still threw more punches than that. So I really think that was a strategy by Floyd. And you guys cannot believe it and believe that the Irishman and it was the Irish blood and he was just so awkward that Floyd couldn't do anything. Now, to Conor McGregor's credit, I think Conor might have been better than he anticipated. Like, I don't think he wanted to get hit with the uppercut. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I mean? Conor was still in there awkward and using his reach and stuff. So Conor was doing some solid stuff in there. You know what I mean? So I don't think, like, it's hard to explain. Like I said, I don't think he wanted to get hit with that uppercut, but he still got hit with it. So, you know what I mean? Credit to Conor for sliding that in there. But like I said, I've seen Floyd. Oscar De La Hoya is a fucking Olympic gold medalist, and that was Floyd's first fight at 154. And Oscar was winning the early rounds, and guess what? Floyd still threw more punches and was still more active in the first 3 rounds. Now, you can argue, oh, Floyd was younger, but he's not that old. Like I said, I've interviewed both on the record and off the record. For this particular camp, I've interviewed and talked to people in Floyd's training camp. And the stuff that's on the record, you guys can clearly go to the channel and hear what they had to say. And I said, was Floyd fighting like a 40-year-old in there? And they said, no. You know what I'm saying? And I've talked to other people in the Mayweather gym who's witnessed and been in the Tin Goosen gym when he was training and witnessed, and they told me how he was looking. So, like, again, that's my honest opinion. Floyd carried him. That's just bottom line. Floyd carried him those early rounds. But see, here's more of the, like I said, I'm not trying to shit on Conor like he just was incapable of doing anything. Like I said, I think Conor may have even been slightly better than even Mayweather thought, because he even said post-fight, he's like, oh, I was a little bit shocked. Because Floyd, playing it safe, he probably didn't think Conor would land that uppercut. So, again, credit to Conor for that. But the reason, Floyd literally gave up the first 3 rounds with throwing nothing. And I don't think Conor McGregor, if he really wanted to try, I don't think his reach and his ability was just that new and improved that Floyd had never seen it, to the point where he felt reduced to basically not even working in those first 3 rounds. Again, I think it was more so the strategy. I think it was a strategy because Conor McGregor, first of all, you guys got to understand something with the fight game. Conor McGregor was a loose cannon. Like, he's a wild card because he's an MMA fighter, right? So we don't really know what he's going to do. He could do some shit like some breakdancing capoeira type of, you know what I'm saying, and come in all crazy like on a movie or something. You know, we didn't know. So Floyd played it safe, which is the perfect strategy. Let Conor, who's confident early and youthful, let him get that, I call it, get that youth out of your system. Meaning, throw your big shots, throw your power shots. You're at max energy, max capacity. You just started the fight. So this is the highest peak of energy you can have. Like, of course, you can get second wins, and some people have late round power and shit like that. But there's no one that can tell me that you're less fresh in the first 3 rounds than you are in the last 3 rounds, because that's not how the human body is set up and designed. So again, Floyd let Conor, who was confident, who's bigger than him, who has a reach advantage, who we ultimately didn't know how he was going to box because of his MMA background. He let him get that youth out of his system, throw some punches, while he was doing very subtle things like jabbing to the body, sticking him to the body, and doing very subtle things, but not really racking up enough points to keep up with Conor's pace in those first 3 rounds. And that was it. And I really think that was a strategy. I think that was his strategy. And by round 4, he started to open up more. That's by design. You guys can say whatever you want, but to me, that was by design. Again, like I said, maybe Conor was slightly better than even he thought, but Paulie even said it before the fight. He said you got to be careful doing Jimmy Kimmel and stuff like that, because the youthful guy can, just the tenacity and his frenetic pace and his pacing of it, you know what I mean, he could maybe take a guy and make you uncomfortable. So Floyd let him get that out of his system, and then he was doing little subtle things that Conor's not going to prepare for. And we all know, like I told you in the streams before the fight, shout out to Naptown, Conor fatigues anyway. And he's not going to be, he's used to 5-minute rounds max if it's a championship fight. Maybe even three rounders early in his career before when he was doing title fights. And like I told you, I just went on my stream yesterday, Conor McGregor, out of all his UFC fights, look how many ended in the first round, first or second round. Besides Nate Diaz, most of them ended early. So he was not going to be well off if he had. I told you, I literally told you, this was one of the easiest predictions this year, by far. I told you guys, if Conor doesn't do something mad significant where it sets an overall tone, i.e. Ward Kovalev, where Kovalev hurts Ward, then he's going to be in trouble. He's going to be in trouble. And he didn't do that. All this, oh, I got Irish power and I'm a 154-pound gorilla, Irish gorilla, or whatever he was saying. All that really didn't show up, because he hit Floyd with some good shots, his best shots, like the uppercuts, some stiff jabs, and Floyd still walked him down, being the smaller man. So it was what it was. Floyd's face, I seen him after, it looked clean as hell. So where was all that power? Because I watched Andre Ward versus Sullivan Barrera live. Sullivan Barrera at the time had, like, let's say an 83% knockout ratio. Ward, who we know is a complete fighter, and even knocked Sullivan Barrera down, and I thought he clearly won versus Sullivan Barrera. His face was still a little bit tattered versus Sullivan Barrera. And even in the Kovalev first fight, his face was tattered. That's because those are actual power-punching boxers. You know what I mean? Conor's power never really seemed to phase Floyd. The only thing that you could say is at the beginning of round 9, and you say, oh, that body shot, which to me looked like it was more an off shot, like a hip shot or something. And that's what it got ruled as. Because if Conor landed such a significant body shot, how did Floyd recover that fucking quick and then go on to nearly stop Conor in round 9? It was a hip shot. It was a low blow or a hip shot or some weird place. And that's why Floyd protested. You guys got to look at the signs. Kovalev, when he was fighting Ward, he didn't protest when it was stopped. He started protesting in the locker room and at the post-fight presser and stuff like that. It's because he was exasperated, and Tony Weeks bailed him out. You know what I'm saying? Floyd immediately protested and said it was low. Conor tried to jump on him, and people like dumbass Skip Bayless got hyped and hyphy off of that. No, Skip Bayless is an idiot, man. He talking about Floyd almost got stopped. Like I said, I didn't see one mark on Floyd's face. Even Maidana had Floyd's lip, like, at the first fight. You know what I'm saying? Maidana swole his lip up. That was a tough fight, though. And see, man,